It is December the 1st.
This is The Warning.
It has been a momentous weekend in the United States as Pete Hegseth, the self-titled Secretary of War, is unmasked as a war criminal. Pete Hegseth is the singularly most incompetent leader of the American armed forces in American history. And I do not say that lightly. I say it precisely. His leadership is an obscenity. He is a buffoon who has been granted enormous power. But no power Pete Hegseth holds is a power that places him above the law. There has been murder ordered on the high seas by Pete Hegseth and executed illegally by a subservient and obedient chain of command that violated its constitutional oath, followed an illegal order, and broke the Geneva Conventions, international law, international treaty, and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. This is a moment where even the worst Congress in American history, the eunuch Congress, the 119th on their knees Congress, the capitulant and appeasement Congress, has signaled that even it, through the Armed Services Committee led by Chairman Roger Wicker, will conduct vigorous oversight of the murder, of the lawlessness. And let us understand, this same lawless man who committed murder in the name of Trump for a reality television show that he cast himself as a star in after building a makeup room in the Pentagon after being tailed around by his wife. That guy who is stoking war in Venezuela. That guy credibly accused of rape. That guy on his third marriage. That guy drunk on a table shouting, "Kill all the Muslims," is unfit and should be removed from his job immediately. The unfit guy who put war plans in a signal message and who should never, ever, 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 ever have been confirmed, but was in a historic and tragic mistake. Now, one of the things that matters a great deal are the tough questions that need to be asked. And here, the American people are failed over and over and over again. And I want to give you a pristine example of a very fine person who is failing to meet the moment and ask the tough questions her job and the legacy of the program she sits on demands she ask. So many of the interactions between top Trump officials and the media, particularly on Sunday shows, have become farcical. They have become Second City improv acts, a type of theater of the absurd, designed not to create laughter or joy, but slack-jawed wonderment about the capitulance of reason to insanity over and over and over again. Let's watch Kristen Welker ask a question of Homeland Secretary Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem is challenged on a question about whether DHS violated a federal judge's order. Let's watch.
The judge wanted to ensure that people were given due process. He said very clearly, quote, "Any plane containing these folks that is going to take off or is in the air needs to be returned to the United States, but those people need to be returned to the United States. However that's accomplished, I leave to you. But this is something that you need to make sure is complied with immediately." Did you defy the court's order, Madam Secretary?
No, Kristen, and that's one of the things that we continue to face across this country is activist judges who are using radical decisions that have no standing and no grounds to try to stop what President Trump is doing to protect America and to keep us safe. So we'll continue to do the right thing, continue to work and do protect Americans, no matter what radical judge comes out and tries to stop us. We'll do the right thing and know that we're on the side of the law, the side of the Constitution, and the side of the American people.
Let me translate it. We do not accept the authority of the federal judge because we decree the federal judge is an activist judge and the Trump regime doesn't follow the orders of an activist judge. The Trump regime would do what they did again, would do it again tomorrow, and we'll do whatever we want to do, while simultaneously saying we follow the court order, we obey the Constitution, and the media is lying by asking us a question, just as the Democrats are when they talk about the possibility of there being illegal orders. Meanwhile, there is no follow-up. On to the next question. And the circuses roll on, ever on. The R word is debated. And Tucker Carlson, like Arthur Fleck with Piers Morgan, debate the efficacy of a slur against gay people.
The gay thing, which was not a thing 40 years ago, gay was a slur, all of a sudden becomes mandatory to worship at the altar of gayness or whatever. Trans stuff, sodomy, pride, all this stuff. That was not a thing 40 years ago. We're the same age. You know that. It was reviled. Now it's beloved. That's a culture change, but it's not multicultural.
I don't think you have
can't
to
dissent. Although you can't dissent from it.
Yeah, but
you're not allowed to dissent from it. If you're like, actually, I think sodomy's wrong. How does that work for you?
Look,
you go to jail in your country.
Well, what's happened with the gay thing, as you put it, is that actually we were an extremely homophobic society. It was only legal to be gay from the mid-60s in the United Kingdom, and I'm very glad I now live in a country where it's perfectly legal to do that.
So you buy the culture. You buy, okay,
it's not a culture. I buy people's right. I buy people's right to have their own sexuality. My argument with the
but that's never happened. That's never happened in the history of your country.
Well, the trans debate's different to the gay debate.
It's not different. It's not.
It is.
No, it's not. Look, I'm not attacking gays. I'm not attacking trans. No, I'm making a larger point that I know that you are capable of grasping, which is that these are cultural determinations. We decide what our culture is, what are our values.
And the media reacts with outrage. And the people are told the great crises are words, while people are obliterated on the seas, while masked men terrorize communities, and while a Homeland Security Secretary speaks in the language that Orwell warned about, the language of tyranny, the language of doublespeak, the language of absurdism that make the truth a farce and equivocate between right and wrong. But the opposition to this, steeped in decency, does not need a lecture or a primer on right and wrong. They see it clearly, and they see the abominations at hand, and they see the lawlessness at hand. We all see it. The question is, what will we do about it? Time is running out. Don't be distracted. Be focused. The chaos is growing. The pace of its metastasization is increasing. Dangerous days are upon us, and the American crisis grows worse with them. This is The Warning.
I'm Steve Schmidt. This is The Warning. I invite you to join this community where I promise to be honest, blunt, and direct about what is happening in this country. America is in crisis. Follow and subscribe to this channel and on Substack. Thank you.